Hey everyone. Today, Amit, you and I are going to take a deep dive on something very interesting. And we have been talking about how we are progressing the natural protocols, how things work in the real world into digital world, how protocols work. But what we have not talked about yet is nature. It affects the processes, the outcomes, and how people behave in real world, and the nature and the environment surrounding them definitely has an effect on that, and how it will impact in the digital world, and take a deep dive on how it will matter.
Yeah. See, I think when we model processes and we create software and digital platforms and so on, the degree to which it mimics reality, the more the success and flexibility and so on of the system, because nature is the most resilient, adaptable,
Yeah.
system. And what exactly we mean by nature when we say nature? There are two parts to it. One is the content. We're talking about the garden, the forest, the whatever, the way things work in specific, because now you've got objects that you're discussing, certain things like perhaps fashion or whatever industry. There's nature of people involved, there's nature of desire and the current likes and dislikes and so-called trends and so on and so forth. That's one part of it, which is the content, and it's very specific to the context and the times.
Yeah.
But there's also the abstract part of nature, which is the nature of nature itself. What do we mean by the word nature? When we say somebody has or something has a certain nature, what does that actually mean? It means that regardless of the specific situation, that something is likely to hold true. Which means it's not specific to the situation. So when we apply the abstract to the specific, we don't see the nature part of it. We only see the specific part of it.
Yeah.
But when you don't see the specific part of it, then you can see the actual abstract principles that you can rely on. So before you can actually build a protocol, which is how things work in specific, they have to be grounded in the principles of what we are discussing and what we are modeling. And the principles don't change. The principles are abstract and they're actually based on nature of things. For example, desire, when you want to sell something, you can rely upon desire to kick in if you show something that, in quotes, people want.
Yeah.
People have desire. Okay, that's an example of a principle.
Yeah.
Right? People want value. That's not something that you need to design.
Yeah.
That you can rely upon. Right? That's nature. So nature is what doesn't change, and you can rely on it to do its thing. Because if you don't have that particular thing, that pillar of operations, then whatever you're building on top of it won't work. Like if you rely on gravity, which is a nature thing, to work, then you know that gravity will always work that same way, and you can always rely on it to be 9.8 meters per second square in terms of acceleration. So you can design your aeroplanes and your spaceships and everything else based on that natural reality.
Yeah.
If you had that wrong, you would never be able to build a successful flight, program.
Yeah, we'll never achieve repeatability if we do not rely on the basic axioms or basic.
So nature is repeatability. If nature did not repeat, in other words, if it was not always 9.8 meters per second square, then you cannot have the idea of nature itself. Nature is repeatability.
Yeah.
Right. So being able to rely on the fact that it's going to happen again the same way, certain things, not the specifics. The specifics may change, but the nature of it doesn't change.
Yeah.
Right. We have to be able to rely on nature. And if you act against nature, you're going to lose. And it's not some abstract statement about, religion or God or any of those things. It's, what you call science or physics, right? You can't go against the principles of what the system is based on. You can change the way things work on top of that, because that's protocol, and you create those protocols by, based on what you are, each person and each thing. And each person and each thing is only based on its own nature. And then there is an all-pervading nature, which is the environment, the global environment within which software runs or people operate. So that's what we mean by nature. And we build systems that are based on nature, and nature means natural intelligence.
Yeah. That discriminates the artificial and the natural intelligence part of it, that whenever a human is there, there is intelligence presence. You can always rely on the fact.
Exactly. So otherwise, who is it that calls it artificial intelligence? The AI doesn't know itself as AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Only human intelligence or natural intelligence, identifies it and certifies it and accepts it or rejects it as good or bad AI or software or value, right?
Yeah. So as we move on to the business or the aspect of it, in the first nature, we can always rely on people wanting to achieve fame and fortune. I think that could be one of the axioms that like a commerce or business can be based upon. And of course, there are other driving factors for a human to make a decision or to have a desire, to have a goal. But how about fame and fortune? I think that's the most
that's what
one.
a co-seller is, right? That's what a brand is. A brand is nothing but wanting fame and fortune.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, what else is it? How do you quantify a brand? You either it's and actually not either. You have to quantify its fame. How many people know about it, and what do they know about it? And you have to quantify its fortune. What else is there? Those are the only two things, right?
Yeah.
So the minute you're able to decompose the abstract, nebulous, whatever it is, brand, what does that mean? Into very simple things like marketing is no longer some abstract thing. Again, it's building a marketplace. That's what is marketing. The verb form of the noun market is to build a market, or a marketplace where people now who all want fame and fortune can come and hang out. So if you make it possible in that place, the marketplace, to facilitate fame and fortune for others that are in the marketplace, then you've created another entity there, which is the one that facilitates the fame and fortune.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got your value provider, which can be used by anyone that wants fame and fortune.
Yeah. I think in this manner, the creator economy seems to be one of the most abstract or the most possible implementation.
It's the most specific.
Right? Most specific. I was struggling with the word most.
No, it's the most specific thing, right? Because everyone's a creator.
Yeah, everyone's a creator.
And everyone has an internet connection.
Exactly.
And everybody wants fame and fortune. And fame is obtained by exchanging ideas and information and all that stuff on the internet, the fastest way. And fortune is gained by facilitating exchange of money for various goods and services, also on the internet, which is the fastest way. And now if you enable, or if you take the help of these facilitators, which are also creators in their own right, then you can work together to achieve fame and fortune together. Right?
That makes a lot of like it connects a lot of dots from beginning, or like a self desire, self like a what do I mean by that is a person's desire to achieve fame and fortune, and the nature's way of facilitating them that, and like forming a community or a collective to get everyone in the same mindset.
Yes, and if you do it in a way where people come together and do it themselves in a authentic way, you call it organic. You know, you call it organic because it reflects nature. When nature is doing it on its own, we say, oh, no one's interfered with it. We haven't added pesticides. We haven't added whatever. And we haven't tried to control it. We haven't tried to force it. We haven't tried to, do acceleration or do any kind of like, interference in it. Then, only then can the full, most perfect fruits and vegetables be created. And you call it organic.
Yeah.
As if it's something special. It is, you mean to say you did not touch it. You didn't do anything there. You know,
exactly.
And that's why you want to pay, ask more money because you did not do anything. That's the whole idea today.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary how inverted the world has become. If you don't touch it, like if I go to the supermarket in the US and I go and find, what is called as grass-fed beef, it's expensive than other things. And I'm just like, what else do cows eat? Right? What else do they eat? That's the natural thing that cows eat. I mean, why are you saying that in a special section? Half the places don't have it. So what are we eating, when you do eat that, right? So when you go back to basics and you go back to nature, you're like, something special.
Yeah, we have shifted entirely. It's entirely inverted.
So when we fix the inversion, it is not something that you realize that has to be fixed. Nature is already there. There's nothing to fix. You just have to stop doing the other crap. You just stop.
Right?
Exactly. There's nothing to fix. You stop. That you're the one that needs to stop and not and be fixed, right? So that's all. So we revert back to the original design. That's already apparent.
Exactly.
Right. And how do you realize that that you can do more together? It's obvious, right? When you come together. When people come together, you can see it anywhere. You can see it in gatherings and parties and personal gatherings, or when people come together, what happens? It releases energy.
Yeah, it does.
It's like atoms coming together and releasing energy. When people are also made up of atoms, only. That's why it's E is equal to mc squared. So when energy comes and collides, energy is released. So when people come together, you can see mob mentality can happen, transformations and movements can happen, anything can happen. And it doesn't even take lots of people. Even 2, 3, 4 people coming together can have an incredibly nonlinear impact on the world.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
And this is because things don't happen because of the specific. They happen because of the nature of things. And that nature is abstract. And it's more connected than the internet, because there is nowhere nature is not there. You can rely on nature being present everywhere, even if the internet is not there.
Exactly.
So if I have a way to facilitate the internet service provider itself, there will be internet everywhere. It's just that not everybody has the opportunity to make money on facilitating everything. If everything was possible by everyone in order that they would also benefit, then where is the question of distribution? Distribution or uneven distribution is because people are deciding in the middle of things what they want and don't want to do, rather than allowing anyone to do anything that so the facilitator becoming the gatekeeper is the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Right. And nature doesn't have that. Nature is permissionless.
You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want.
In other words, there is no need to come and say that you're doing something wrong. Because if nature allows it, it isn't wrong. It is the natural way. Yeah. If nature did not allow it, you couldn't do it.
Exactly.
Right? So there is no question. But if you try to construct new, things like the gatekeepers and other types of, self-serving protocols, then nature has a way around you. Right? Which is the human being that doesn't want to be restricted.
Yeah.
You can rely on that, the freedom principle. Everybody wants to be free. Where is the question in that?
Everybody wants to be free. There's no doubt about it.
So if you facilitate freedom, what's the problem?
That solves
And that's
the
what the internet is meant to do. The internet is meant to facilitate freedom and all of that. And it isn't doing that. And if you can fix it, then everything is possible. And you're not doing something special. You're just going back to nature.
That totally makes sense. Thanks, Amit, so much for such a mind-boggling conversation about nature and how it impacts our, like, from small day-to-day things to the bigger things and the transformation as well. Thanks so much.
Yeah, for sure. Excited for the coming natural world. We're all moving back to value, as you can see in the markets as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this notional, oh, it's going to be like this, it's going to be like that, is all gone. It's going to be direct. It's going to be, tell me what tell me what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, what you're, it's not going to happen and it's going to happen thousands of years from now. It's very direct.
Yeah.
We can exchange value right now. Where's the question about imagination there? It's very direct. So this is social selling or direct selling, done right.
Awesome. So thanks so much, Amit. Thanks so much for a lovely conversation.